Auckland is nearly 1 week into its shift down to level 1, but central city businesses say they are still hurting. Checkpoint has spoken to a number of businesses calling for their fellow CBD workers to return to the office to help central Auckland's economy. Those calls have been repeated by Heart of the City, which says spending in the central city is down $100 million on this time last year. Our reporter Nick Truebridge and camera operator Simon Rogers filed this report.
It's just before 1 p.m. on Lawn Street, but you'd be forgiven for thinking otherwise. That's because there's no sign of any lunchtime rush. The central Auckland street is noticeably quiet, and you could count on two hands the number of people in most cafes. We're approaching a week since the City of Sales shifted to level 1, but central Auckland businesses say not much has changed, with the loss of tourists and international students compounded by Aucklanders choosing their home offices over the central city. Ethan Jull manages clothing store Mr. Simple on Lawn Street. The shop was empty when Checkpoint dropped in.
Definitely missing the tourists. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing, but there's also less people in offices, less people in town just in general, man. It's like cut town in half in terms of people walking around.
Next we visited Chuffed, a central Auckland cafe tucked down a walkway off Auckland's High Street. Duty manager Jared Swart is tied up taking coffee orders but takes time out for a brief chat. Chuffed is relatively busy on Monday afternoon, but looks can be deceiving.
We are still not at the same standards, but we're seeing like regular customers definitely coming back and people are coming in a lot more. During the week, still really slow, but weekends are picking up a little bit more now, so that's good.
Swart has a plea for Aucklanders choosing to work from home 5 days a week.
I think before what was limiting it was the fact that we had like reserved tables to try and like keep social distancing and stuff. And now that we can use all the tables, that's definitely helping. But obviously we just don't have the same regular client base because people are working at home. So apart from that, I think everything should be back on.
What would you say to people who are working at home and thinking, maybe I should start going back into the office? I assume that would benefit you guys if they decided to do so.
Definitely, come back to the office and then we can make you coffee as well, so that'd be good, yeah.
Auckland City Centre Business Association, Heart of the City, has been tracking central Auckland's sudden slowdown.
I can tell you that this latest period from the 12th of August, midday on the 12th of August when we went back into level 3, up until the end of, this latest level 2, it was $100 million down on spending.
That's Heart of the City Chief Executive Viv Beck. She says tourism, hospitality, retail and entertainment businesses are disproportionately affected. The message from Heart of the City is clear. If you're working from home, think about heading back into the CBD.
You know, that's a massive impact on those businesses across that time. So it absolutely is affecting them. And for some businesses that can sort of pack up and work from home, others are not able to do that and they're reliant on the foot traffic that the businesses provide. So we're certainly hoping people will be giving consideration and thought to this because it is having a big impact on those businesses.
Checkpoint spoke to a number of central city workers on Queen Street today. Almost all of them said either they or people they worked with weren't working in the city full time.
I just work with two other people. Actually, those two people are both working at home still, so there is a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, it's just whatever needs. So if I have client meetings, I'll come into town. Otherwise, I'll just work from home, but I'm okay either way.
I have been mostly in the office just because it's easier to communicate and work with other people.
For my current job, right, I would say even without COVID, I'd probably prefer to work from home anyway, just because, no transport and,
Save costs.
Yeah, exactly.
Back on Lawn Street, Pavi Diol is waiting to serve customers at break time convenience store, but there aren't many coming through the door. He says the combination of loss of tourism, overseas students and full-time city centre workers has created a perfect storm that's destroyed nearly half of the store's business.
And the business is still like 50-60% down, but it's first week now, we are looking towards like students are back. So how it's going, we have a feeling that it will go up, but not up to that extent that we used to be before. So you know what I'm saying? Because no more tourists as well. and the number of students has gone down as well, no more international as well.
Viv Beck says Heart of the City remains optimistic the central city will recover. She says Level 1 has brought a bump in the number of people flocking to the CBD, particularly with the return of nighttime events. For now, though, it remains a daily struggle for those relying on daytime trade. For Checkpoint, Nick Truebridge.